Welcome to lesson 1.5, Principles of Effective Practice. So we're going to understand the principles of effective practices, and this is through just a training session. So as a coach or as an athlete, what do we want from a training session? Okay, so be able to design practice schedules or training sessions incorporating these principles. So just some key terms that I'll be referring to throughout. So principle is a basic rule or idea that guides decisions or actions, and in this case for practice or training sessions. A drill, specific repetitive exercises that target particular skills, techniques and movements to enhance an athlete's performance. And then a conditioned game is a modified game, to focus on specific skills or tactics, simulating real situations. And these are often referred to as SSGs or small-sided games. Okay, so think like a coach, or maybe what you would like as an athlete from a training session. And to make it a really good training session, an effective training session, we're going to remember VP SMARTER. Okay, so the first one is varied. To change or vary the methods and types of practice by using a mix of drills, small-sided condition games, or game scenarios. We talked about methods and types in the last session. I'm going to leave the why box empty. I'll talk about it, but there are many reasons why you might vary a training session. I'm going to give maybe one, but as we go, you can maybe think of why these principles are important. So varied, I think, is to keep motivated and keep it exciting throughout the session. So we're on to P is progressive. So gradually increase the difficulty or intensity of your training over time. And this is to keep a challenge for all the athletes. Specific, so in terms of objectives for each session and to the sport or position you play. So again, this will help the athlete in the best way possible if it's specific to their position on the pitch, for example. So measurable, having a clear benchmark for athletes to try and reach, whether it's a number or a time, and this is to be able to see progress or see improvement. For your 100 meters, you were this 3 weeks ago, and now this is your time. Okay, so I think that's important. Achievable, so make sure the goals and objectives set are realistic and attainable to players. So again, this is to motivate, to keep them interested. Realistic, keeping in mind the player's ability, make sure it is related to real game scenarios, and this makes it a very similar experience, and it simulates the experience that they're going to get in a match or a competition environment. So timed. Depending on ability and skill level, total time spent training weekly as well as individual sessions should be pitched at the correct level and allow for rest and recovery. This is to maybe not undertrain and not overtrain. Okay, so to keep tabs on that. Exciting is self-explanatory. Activities that are fun and engaging, to keep the love of the sport. And then recorded is the last one, documenting what you did, what went well, what could improve, is always very beneficial for future planning, but also to see improvements, to keep track of how you're feeling, etc. So an example of a basketball session is here, and I have 3 missing ones to see if you can figure out what's missing as we go. Okay, so we have variable, different dribbling, passing and shooting drills throughout the session. Progressive, shooting drills progressing from close range to 3-pointers. And then can you remember this? VPS, well done. Focus on free throw shooting technique, very specific to basketball itself, maybe a particular position. Measurable, setting and achieving layup targets, 20 layups in 2 minutes. Okay, so VP SMARTER, so achievable, realistic goals for each drill. So not saying 50 layups in 2 minutes, as a team, 20 layups is probably achievable. Realistic, half-court game simulating real match scenarios, or like a 5v5. Time-bound, so you have 5v5 will only last 10 minutes. And time-bound is kind of for each drill, but also for each session, also how many sessions a week, how many sessions a month. So time-bound is thinking maybe from the short term to the long term as well. Enjoyable, fun mini game to boost morale, so hot seat maybe to finish, and then record it, so documenting how session went and how the athletes performed. That can be as a coach or an athlete. So we're just going to test the knowledge and go through a few questions. So what is meant by a condition game? Okay, so a match that the rules have been slightly changed by the coach to focus on specific skills or tactics, simulating real situations while emphasizing key performance aspects. So for example, in a GAA session, a 3v3 possession game, 5 passes equals 1 point, hand passing only. This focus on movement off the ball, passing accuracy and decision making that is related to a match scenario. But there's no kick passing, there's no shooting, so it's specifically focused in on that one skill. Question 2. So what is understood by progressive? So in a training session, progressive refers to the gradual increase in the difficulty, intensity, or complexity of exercises and drills over time. So this approach ensures that athletes are continuously challenged and their skills and fitness levels are consistently improved without causing injury or overtraining. For example, and it's always good to give an example in questions, dribbling through cones to practice technique and then building it up to a 1v1 situation against a defender. You can even have a passive defender first that doesn't really tackle, and then you can have an active defender that really does put the pressure on and progress those skills. And last question, why is it important that sessions are achievable for players? So making sessions achievable ensures the players build confidence in their skills and stay motivated to improve. It's crucial for fostering a positive, productive and sustainable training environment. And the basketball training session, for example, setting an achievable goal might mean practicing layups at a comfortable speed and distance before progressing to more challenging shots. Okay, so recapping, hopefully we've understood the principles of effective practices. So during a training session or practice, VP smarter, and then how to then apply those into practice schedules or planning for a session. And the next topic is going to be levers.
If you like this video, you'll love our notes. You can get some for free in the link in the description of this video.